Hey, what's up, guys? Today I want to talk about the newly released Reate Exo clone in the 4-inch version. I do have a video that I posted a while back comparing the this 3-inch version to the authentic Reate Exo, and if you've seen that, you know that I wasn't a fan of the authentic version. I thought the blade play was ridiculous. Like, I understand it's an OTF and they're all gonna have blade play for the most part, but it was an absurd amount from whenever I handled it. But so I returned it. Unfortunately, I don't have it for this video, but regardless, I am really excited to show you guys the 4-inch version, partially because I talked to this manufacturer in China. I think he's the same one that makes these right here. And I said, hey, look, I would love to see the 4-inch versions. And I kind of bothered him a little while about it. And he agreed to make them. And if he sells a good bit, he'll come out with the Tanto Edge. I know a lot of people like that one. And yeah, it's just really neat to have a manufacturer listen to us. I know I wasn't the only person who was interested in them from what I gathered online. But anyway, he did send me this one right here in the middle for free. I'm not going to call this a sponsored video because I guess you can call it that, but I'm going to be honest about whatever I feel about it. I don't feel like I have any allegiance or any obligation to give it a favorable review. I think he will benefit from having the larger model available, actually. But anyway, and I did go ahead and spend my own money and buy the dagger edge. I do like OTF daggers a lot. So regardless of all that, there are some improvements that I really like on the newer, larger models, other than the size, of course. And one of them being the pocket clip. I failed to mention on my last Reate Exo video that the pocket clip on these 3-inch versions, they have a lot of spring tension. They're almost unusable. But the newer ones, as you can see, they're a little bit thinner and they definitely feel a lot friendlier to use. Other than that, the handle materials are aluminum. The authentic Reate is titanium, although recently they did come out with the aluminum version that is cheaper. And I think they also use D2 steel, which is what these use. They are still, I think, 3 to 4 times the price of these right here. So anyway, I definitely do like the improvement on the pocket clip. Another thing that I've noticed improved is the lockup, or excuse me, the lock. So on this one right here, it's got pretty much no resistance to it. The original, you have to apply a tiny amount of force to kind of lock and unlock it. These are closer to the original in that you have to kind of apply intentional force. I'm not really worried about these coming unlocked in my pocket. The lockup feels a little bit stiffer also. So with these, whenever you're using it, usually you have to pinch close, and if you do that, there's not a whole lot of blade play. But regardless, I'll do the kind of like the shake test like I did in the last video. Again, blade play is not the end of the world. I'm not bothered by it unless it's just an absurd amount. But let's see, there's another improvement. Well, anyway, I'll think of it. Oh yes, actually, so I do like this also. I'm not a big fan of a counterfeit. Whatever I consider a counterfeit is whenever something has a logo, like for example, this says Reate right here. And I suggest that they leave those off on these models. And they did. I like that a lot more. As you can see, it's just a true clone at this point. There's nothing on the inside of the handle like you have on this model. So I personally prefer that. But other than that, there's a lot of similarities. The inlays, it's both this, they both have this textured plastic, as you can see. It definitely gives you a good grip on it. I like it personally. The grinds look good to me. From my experience with this one, the edge retention's pretty decent actually. I think for the price, it's totally appropriate to use D2 steel. I paid 40 or 45 for the smaller one, and these are also going from 40 to 45 right now. On the Tong 558 store, which is the guy that I spoke to, the manufacturer, I think he has a $5 off coupon at the moment. Let's see, other than that, the weights on these two are 3.8 ounces. This guy right here is, let's see, 3.2 ounces. So not too heavy. I feel like it carries in the pocket well. The action is good. I noticed in the larger grabbing knives, the deployment isn't usually as easy as the smaller ones, but you know, it's still perfectly fine. I don't think it's any trouble at all to deploy it. But guys, that's pretty much it. Like I said, I really am impressed with these and how they came out, and I'm really excited that I had something to do with it. So if you want to buy one, I think Tong 558 is the only seller at the moment that has these, and I will link his store in the comments. But if anybody has any questions about them, by the way, here's a size comparison to the Combat Troodon. Let's see. But yeah, if anybody has any questions, feel free to contact me and I'll be happy to get back to you. But thank you for watching and take care.